Hello, 2019 Fall Business 1360 Software Apps for Business Students. After our class today on September 4th, I wanted to follow up with you and just make sure that you understand your assignments that are due for this week. I'm going to keep it brief. I'm not going to do the whole assignments, but I do want to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what's required of you. I have opened the schedule that I gave you on the first day of class. If you are missing this, you can go into Pause under Getting Started and you will find this document. I'm on page 3, which is today, Wednesday, September 4th. And this is what we did in class today. I always say it's a draft agenda and that, we can adjust it as we go. But I think we did this. Took attendance. We began class with the Word 1 quiz. I emphasize this because as we look ahead to next week we'll begin class with a Word 2 quiz in Pause. This is something we'll do every week at the start of class. I also took your pictures today, and thank you for working with me on that. We created a Word 1 folder on your USB flash drive. We saved files. We practiced that, our Word 1 files, and we completed an in-class activity. Here's the homework, very important on your schedule. When is it due? There's the due date. This is always the day before our next class. There are 3 assignments that we need to do. One allows us to finish up Word Case 1. Remember, that's what we were covering today is Word Chapter 1, and so we're going to work on Word Case 1. And I'm pointing you to Pause for those instructions. In My IT Lab, you're going to work on the training simulator again, this time for Word Chapter 2. Also, you're going to read your book, which is in My IT Lab, because remember, you have the quiz coming. Now, we did add something to your homework list. We added a bonus point option for you, and the bonus point option is to take the SLO pre-test. Let's talk about each one of these one at a time. I have my Pause tab open, and I'm going to cancel out of here because I was in here looking at something. Let me start from the beginning. I should have set this up, gone back. I apologize. Bear with me. Let's pretend you've just logged into Pause and you've clicked the link to enter our class. So you are on the home page for our class in Pause. Let's start with the bonus points first, because everyone loves bonus points. Please follow my lead instead of taking your own direction. It will make it easier on you because you won't have to try to figure out why your screen looks different. So just follow along. I'm going to click on Assessment and Quizzes. Scroll down. Very important. Scroll down. When you see the category SLO, remember this means Student Learning Objectives, and we looked at those today on the syllabus. Your SLO pre-test is here. Now today is September the 4th. This quiz will be available to you on September the 5th. You will have until the day before our next class meeting, September the 10th, to complete the quiz. How many times can you take the quiz? Unlimited. Which grade do I record? These are bonus points. I'm looking for a 5 out of 5. Hopefully that's what you make. But since we got a little off on our first class meeting, I announced in class today that if you made an honest attempt at this quiz, that you would be awarded 5 out of 5 points. We just concluded the SLO pretest instructions so you understand what you need to do. Now let's tackle the next project or the next homework assignment, which is the word case 1 assignment in pause. Again, please follow along with me rather than choosing your own direction. It's going to clarify the instructions. There are many ways to accomplish things in pause, but if you're not following, if you're not understanding, you don't want to have to make those adjustments in my instructions. So simply follow along with these instructions. Assessment, assignments. Scroll down. Notice here, word case 1. This is what our instructions referenced, word case 1. This is our schedule. Back to pause, word case 1. Now, I'm telling you pause and ebook because I'm trying to hint to you that you will need both of these tools. You see the files that you will need listed below. As in class, we do not click those files. Instead, we click the name of the assignment, just like we did in class. I didn't quite get it. Let me get it again. There we go. Now we can see the instructions for the assignment. It tells me that I need to save the files to a local computer or to a removable drive, like your flash drive. I encourage you to create a folder. Remember, we created one in class today. Save the files to that folder. After I do that, the step 2 of the instructions says that I should open my IT lab and log in, enter our course, click Course Materials, and be patient as the page displays. I have a reminder that I need to enable pop-ups. Step 3 tells me to open the Word Chapter 1 e-text. When I open the ebook so that I can follow the steps, and I need to complete the steps in my ebook from pages 126 through 164. Here's another important note. I need to be on the lookout for blue shaded boxes because that's where the instructions are that I'm supposed to follow. Another very important part of this note is a reminder about the videos that are located in the upper left corner of those blue shaded boxes because they'll demonstrate to me how to complete the steps. Finally, step 4, I'm going to submit the work that I've done. And I'm, again, getting some important reminders about how to name the file. They will prompt me to name the file with my last name and first name, no spaces, and using that proper capitalization. I give you an example. If your name was Anna Apples, and it's not, but if your name was Anna Apples, then the file that you turned in would have the file name that they've provided, then that underscore, and then your last name, Apples, no space, the first name, Anna. Now, in class today, we talked about this .docx, and this is something that Word adds to the file automatically. So we will not need to add that to our file. It's going to be there automatically. In fact, if you type it, you'll have it there twice and you'll lose points. So you don't want to do that. Now that I have a general overview of what I'm supposed to do, you might want to print this so that you can read it as you go. I'm going to get to work. I'm going to begin work. And like we did today, I'm going to download all files. Here's the link for both of my files that I'll need, so I'm going to click that just like we did in class today. Now, every browser is different, as we discussed, and it's asking me where do I want to save it. Well, this is really nice. If you just click Save, you might have it in your Downloads file. I'm going to use this opportunity to save as. If you do not remember the steps for saving, go back to the lecture video. You can also get help at the Academic Support Center and just let them know you're trying to save your work to your flash drive, save these files to your flash drive and ask for their help. We cover it in class, but just because we cover something in class doesn't mean that you always know it perfectly. I do have office hours and you're welcome to make an appointment with me, but that is not always convenient to your schedule. If you're here in the morning, I might be in class. And this is why I suggest the Academic Support Center. It's not because I'm not willing to help you. It's just because their availability may be more convenient to you. And for something like saving files from pause, they can help you with that. Just make sure you tell them, I'm not looking for help on software apps for business. I need help saving files from pause to my flash drive. Be very clear about that. Now, here's my flash drive, and I can already see the Word 1 folder that we created in class, so I'm going to open that, and I'm going to save this file there. I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to open it. Should I open the folder? Look at my option, open and view the downloads. I'm going to open the folder. Here's my Word 1 folder, and here are the files that I just downloaded. I can double click and I see these files, but remember these are zipped up. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I have my computer settings so that I can see the .docx and I can see the .pdf. On your computer, you will not see those unless you have taken specific actions to see them. So it's good that you see that that's there. And when it's invisible on your computer, you'll know in your mind that's really there. But remember, we're going to copy these. I'm going to pick the first one. I'm going to hold my Shift key down just like we did in class, and I'm going to click the last one. I'm going to keep my mouse on top of it as we did in class, and I'm going to copy. Now, as I see where my files are saved here, I'm going to return to my Word 1 folder. I'm going to move into this open white space, remember, and right-click and paste. And I can see there's my file. I'm going to open up in Word this file. So far, so good, right? But what else am I supposed to do? Well, let's go back. I've downloaded my files and I'm ready to begin. So I need to go into My IT Lab and click Course Materials. And I've done that here. I'm going to go back because I want you to see each part of this. I logged into My IT Lab. I'm clicking to enter our course. I'm going to click Course Materials. And I see the folders that apply to our course. I can scroll down, scroll back up. We're working on Word Workshop 1 because we're finishing up. That was the first assignment, right? And here's my e-text. We have the pop-up box. Remember, you'll need to enable pop-ups. Click the link to open the book. Very much like in class, we have to enable Flash. I find that I have to do this every time. I probably could change the setting, but I like to show you that you need to enable that. And here's my book. Now I'm going to make this full screen so you can see it. Hopefully last week, in preparation for our quiz today, you were reading the materials here, because there is good information to read. Notice it's talking about what is business communication. That was one of the quiz questions. What is a word processor? That was another one of the quiz questions. So the reading is important because it prepares you for the quiz. But now I come to a blue shaded box, and it told me that I'm to follow the instructions in the blue shaded box, and that if I have difficulty with these instructions, that I should play the video that is always in the upper left-hand corner of the blue shaded box. Now, it tells me on the taskbar, click Ask Me Anything or search the web and Windows. And perhaps I have no idea what they are asking me to do. Then this would be a good idea to play this video. And I'm only going to play a small piece of it.
Microsoft Word 2016, Chapter 1, Blue Box 0, to open a document.
Now, look down here at the bottom where his mouse is, and it says search the web. And that was one of the things. They said either in the Ask Me Anything or search the web box. So he just showed you exactly what you need to do. And he's going to walk you through every step of the assignment, and he's going to do a lot of explaining as he goes. And that's very true in the first chapter of Word. It's going to be true in the first chapter of Excel, and it's going to be true in the first chapter of PowerPoint. Okay, so it said either Ask Me Anything or search the web in Windows, and he clicked in that box, so that's what we would do. Now I would continue to follow these instructions in the blue box. You turn the page using this arrow. And see, they're really showing you right now because they know you're new to Word, so they want you to see all these instructions. They're going to tell you how to save as, and we talked about that in class today. They're going to help you navigate to the location of your files. Now, they don't know where your files are, but we did that in class today so you could see that. Right? We talked a lot today about this Save As dialog box, and isn't that it here? And we just keep following these blue box instructions. Now, you'll see things to read along the way, but remember that we have to keep going because according to our instructions, let me go back to, oops, where's my pause? That's not that. I'm sorry, I need to close some windows here because I have been working on this video, and I can see that I have just a little too much open. So now, there it is, pause. Right, so in pause, it told me 126 through 164. Okay, sorry for that little distraction, but I'm only on page 131, so I know I still have work to do. And again, hopefully you're saying, yes, I read this in preparation for the quiz that we had today. You keep going through, you keep looking for the blue boxes so that you can continue working on the steps. This is a beginning chapter, so this is a kind of easy project. You can see that a lot of these pages are going by, and it's not meant to thwart you in any way. I'm not trying to set up obstacles. So now we're at the next box. The first one was 0. This one is 01. And it says if you took a break, open this document, which is the one we downloaded, and I open. It says click the View tab, and then the View group, click Read Mode. So I'm just going to follow these steps in the View tab. What did they ask me to do? They asked me to click Read Mode. And really at this point, and in Chapter 1 of each of the different software, they're going to tell you how to navigate. I mean, that's what this is all about, is learning the software. So I'm going to tell you how to navigate. I'll return to my instructions. If at any time you don't know, you watch the video and you keep working through the chapter. Just step by step. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I am trying to help you understand what the expectation is. We deleted characters today. We did that, but they're going to have you do this now in the context of this case. I mean, look at all the explanation. You're going to do all of that. Printing, I don't need to collect anything printed from you. So please do not waste your paper for me. Okay, so you do not need to print for me. Okay, so look how quickly, they're not all going to go this quickly, but look how quickly this is going. Requires the use of the word memo, not memorandum. So, you know, they'll have me go through with the documents and you know, this says memo. They're wanting me to delete because they just showed me the delete, right? So I would continue all the steps as I'm supposed to do until I get to the end. And now I'm going to go back to pause, and I'm going to complete everything from 126 to page 164. And then the book is going to tell me I need to save that document. So, for example, let's say that I've completed this work. I mean, you should save as you go. But I'm going to click on File, Save As. Look, it remembers I'm in my Word 1 folder. So I could either browse, as we did in class, or I can click on Word 1. And I know I need to click at the end of the document. Remember, yours is not going to show that .docx, but it's going to be there. You don't even have to type it. Very important that you do not type it. I'm going to put my underscore. I'm going to type my last name and my first name, no spaces, save. Where am I saving it? Saving it to Word 1. What kind of document? Word document. And so let's pretend I have finished all the steps. Very important when you have finished working on a document to close it. Cannot emphasize that enough. Hugely important. And I would continue until I had completed all 3 files. In fact, I kind of wish I would have, I'm going to open that document that I just saved. And we learned in class today how to save it as a PDF, right? Save as. Word 1, I'm going to go ahead and save it as a PDF. We did this in class today. Now, you are required, there's going to be 3 documents that you're going to do as you complete all this, but I wanted to at least have 2 for my example. As we get down towards the bottom, now remember, I should have 3 documents. That's my checklist, 3 documents. Here's how you submit them. I'm going to click Add a File. My files happen to be on a device on my computer. They're on my flash drive. And I can either drag and drop them into this box, or I can click on Upload. And this is where you have to know, where are your files? And so I can see them over here. I know they're in my Word 1 folder. And right now, I only have the 2 files. So I'm going to pick them both, and I'm going to click on Open. I should have 3. You know, in fact, let me do that. I'll do 3. What did we do? We picked the first one and then held my Shift key down to get the last one. Here's a trick, and I'll know if you were watching the video or not. If your files are not next to each other, then you would click the first one, hold your Control key down, and see how it's letting me click them, select them? So Control will let you select individual files. I've selected them all. Once I see that they've all uploaded, I need to click Add. Now, if you get an error message when you click Add, it's because you still have your files open. You need to close your files. Now that I see that all the files are there, I'm going to click Submit. There is a comment box. You are welcome to type a comment, but it is not required. File submission successful, and I'm done. Now that is one of the bigger assignments. That's why I waited until this week to start it with you. It was not the in-class project. This is your homework, Word Case 1. So, we've talked about the bonus points, the SLO pretest. We've talked about PAWS, Word Case 1. Now we need to look at the Word 2 Training Simulator. This, as noted here, is in my IT lab. I'm going to go back to course materials. Now, I am looking at the materials for Word Workshop 1. I need to be in Word Workshop 2, right? Isn't this for 2? An easy way to do this is to go back to course materials, which I can do by simply clicking on My Course. Once again, I see the list of folders that are for our course materials. Click on Word Workshop 2. Once again, you have your ebook at the top, but that's not our assignment right now. Our assignment is the simulator. So I'm going to click on it. Now that we're in the simulator, you see the task that you are supposed to do. You see that you have 15 of these tasks, and I can move between them. All right, I'm just clicking those arrows. For each task, I have 5 attempts. I can view all the tasks to move between them. And someone asked me about this. There's the Submit button. Now, I have this nice, beautiful menu along the bottom of my screen, and that's because this window is full screen. If I was to reduce the size of this, you may find, whenever I need something to act a certain way, it doesn't do it. You may find that that menu is displayed along the side. Okay, so just if yours is on the side, on the right-hand side of your screen, no problem. That's okay. The first task in this new simulator, this is the Word 2 simulator, says select all document text and change the font to Times New Roman and the font size to 12 point. There are many ways to select all the text. I would like to introduce you to Control A. I just typed Control A and notice how everything is selected. If you don't know how to do this, then I would suggest you go to the learning aids. And the one that most students find most helpful is the practice learning aid. I'm going to show you that in a moment, but I'm going to continue this for just a minute. So again, click anywhere in the text, Control A, that's my method. It says I need to change the font. If you prefer to use the drop down, you can. You can also click inside there and type Times New Roman. See how it's filling it in? Oh, it didn't like that, did it? See, that's probably the problem. So let me do it the way they want me to do it. I'll do Times New Roman. Pick it out of the list. And here they want me to change to 12-point font. Ta-da! It's highlighting the next task. Select the 5 paragraphs beginning with Compose with Care and ending with Be Bold. Click the Font dialog box launcher and select Small Cap Effects. Bold the selection. Woo! Sounds complicated. Don't even know what they're asking me to do. I'm just going to go straight to Practice. So when I click on Practice, and this is the important thing, it is not...
Drag to select 5 paragraphs, beginning with Compose with Care and ending with Be Bold.
When you see...
On the Home tab, in the Font group, click the Font dialog box launcher.
Okay, so they're helping me to get started. They're showing me and they're waiting for me to select. Select that. And now they're telling me what to do. Now, it's not going to do it for me. I have to click. Make sure I'm clicking. It'll sit there forever if that's what you want. So click that.
In the Font dialog box, on the Font tab, under Font Style, click Bold. Under Effects, click the Small Caps checkbox to select it. Click OK.
All right. Now, it says I have to try this myself now. So it's returning me to the exercise. and it said I need to select those 5 paragraphs. And remember, we said we may not consider this to be a paragraph, but if I click this, I don't know if it'll let, no, it counts that as a wrong action. Remember that anywhere someone hit the enter key, that is a paragraph. So these are paragraphs, and it says start with compose with care. That's part of the instructions. Go through, be bold. And so with the practice aid, it showed me exactly what I need to do. Then it said I need to click the font dialog box launcher, and that's what these things are called in each of the lower corners. These are launchers. So I'm going to launch it. Here's font. This is the font box. So this is the font dialog box launcher. Okay. And from here, it wanted me to apply small caps and, oh, and bold. Almost forgot to bold. And then click OK. And I must be right because it moved on to the next tab. Now, you keep going through all of these. This is just one task. So maybe we should do this one more. Press Control End, it says. Control End. Now, I'm on a laptop, and in order for the blue end key to work, I have to press a function key. So be aware if your laptop, you know, has some special settings, you can always use a college computer. It says to select the line, the last line. Let Philip, you know, L Photography preserve your memories. I'm going to triple click. That selects the line. Select text effect of fill. Ooh, text effect. That sounds a little different than what I would call the font color. So maybe I need to do the learning aid. Let me make sure I'm doing it correctly.
Press Control End. Drag to select the last line.
Oops. Drag to select the last line. And see how I'm shortcutting it there because I knew how to do that part, right? On the Home tab in the font group, text fill. See, I overlooked that. I was overlooking that. Okay. And they want me to pick this blue accent 1. Ta-da! Now I can do it myself because I understand. See, sometimes reading the instructions is just so much more confusing. So go to the end, select the line. Here's my font fill. I forgot which one they said. Accent 1, which is row 3, column 3. So this one. And I did it. I wanted to do this last step because I want you to see that only now am I on task 2. I can save, come back later, work on this some more, or I can go ahead and submit it. I'm, of course, nowhere near done, but there is a submit button. That is how you submit. There was a question about that, so I want to make sure I address it. Notice my score is terrible, but that's okay. I can go back in and do it again. I only record your highest score, okay? All right, we are steadily completing these assignments. Last one. Read and prepare for the Word 2 quiz at the start of the next class. Well, first I want to go back to pause because I want to again remind you, where do you go for quizzes? Well, the quiz, assessment quizzes, you remember this because the very first assignment we discussed was the bonus quiz assignment for the SLO pretest. I wanted to show you the Word quiz 2 as well as your other quizzes so that you can see we do this at the start of every class. See how that works? So you want to prepare for this quiz, and the best way to prepare for it is to read your book. Where's the book? Under My Courses, Course Material, Word Workshop 2, there's your e-text. The more you do this, the more comfortable you're going to get. Always get this pop-up box. Need to click that link. And then I'm going to have to get Flash. And since this is my book, I want it to be the full screen so I can see. And now, as you can see, we're in Chapter 2. Now, at this point, you are not working on the blue shaded boxes. You are certainly welcome to if you would like, But my goal at this point is to have you read about creating a styling document, read about this. Now, there's the how-to steps. You can certainly see them, look at them, read them if you'd like. But what you're being tasked with is understanding, what is the ruler used for? I want you to get familiar with it. This clipboard thing, when we say we copied something to the clipboard, what are they talking about? Well, take a moment and read this, because I guarantee you that's a quiz question. And that's your goal. You're going through your reading, you're preparing for the quiz. When are you going to have to do this stuff in the blue boxes? Next week. In fact, you'll always know that because on your schedule, if I look ahead, see, this is stuff that's due before our next class. What are we going to do in our next class? Well, we're going to do the Word 2 quiz. We're going to create a Word 2 folder. We're going to download some files. We're going to do an in-class activity. For homework, you're going to have to do after next class the Word Case 2 and then the Word 3 simulator. You see the rhythm here? It just takes a little bit, folks, to get up and going so that you understand what the expectation is. I hope this video helps for you to do that. I know that this is a long one. In fact, if I pull this up, I'm now almost at 40 minutes. But I do think that it's important for us to take a moment for everyone to get on the same page and understand. Also, if you missed class today, I hope this puts you on the path. You can't make up the in-class points, but you can certainly use the knowledge to continue and go successfully. So I hope this helps. Thank you very much.